What's going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Other Side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who've made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
And Levon Maynard.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. So definitely continue to tune in throughout the week. So Monday and Tuesday are our topics. Wednesday is a discussion, all of which were really good this week. They're always good, but these ones were exceptional. All right. Chef's kiss to these ones. And then Thursday is Ask Us SP, where I talk to somebody who's trying to break into cybersecurity. But Fridays are always reserved for everything else. So we typically try to not talk about cyber too much unless we're studying for something, which I need to be, but I'm not. But I'm sure we got it in on the movies and TV shows and things of that nature. So with that being said, how's your guys' week been?
And mine's been pretty good. I've been home mostly. Actually, I took a trip out to went to Oregon for a little bit for work. I hung out there for a little bit. Actually had a pretty good time. Do some work, and then I got to check out the sites a little bit. But besides that, while I was traveling, I got to watch. Actually, on this trip, I read a book that I read. I read this book. It's called You're Invited. Today's a book club day. You're Invited, The Art of Science of Cultivating Influence. But I got this from work. But I actually read the book. It's pretty good. Just talking about just like cultivating influence and just like being able to, establish connections with people and things of that nature. But it's a pretty good read. But I want to bore you guys with book club stuff, but actually I watched some content lately. I watched there's a series on Netflix called Midnight Mass, which was pretty good. I like majority of it. I think the ending wasn't as good as I was expecting, but it wasn't bad, but I was expecting to be something a little bit different. But it was actually a pretty good series. It's about basically this small town that's living on an island, and they're all like churchgoers. And then, not trying to reveal too much, but some things start happening where like some maybe like this creature or this angel appears in the town, and people are like start kind of like praising it like it's some sort of
never heard of this before. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually it was in the top 10 at one point in Netflix, but it kind of fell off.
Is it in the UK or something? It's not.
No, I think
it's not the US.
It's all US based.
Is it?
I think it's all US based.
I definitely never heard of it. Okay.
Yeah, Midnight Mass. It's just a small limited series that's only 7 episodes.
Okay.
And so it's a pretty quick, view. You can marathon it over afternoon or whatever. But
that's what I do.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think it's worth watching. I think maybe even Shannon might like it. It has enough. I don't know. It has enough suspense and like it's very intriguing. But maybe not enough action though. It's not like a big action thing, but it's definitely like some killings and things like that nature, some death and some blood and all this kind of gore.
Okay.
It happens every now and then, but it's pretty good. And so watch that. Watch the latest season of Tiger King. I'm not sure if you guys checked that out yet.
No, I have not. Because I'm like, what do you do?
Right. What are they going to talk about? Like,
what do you do? We know Carol Baskins did it.
Carol Baskin. Carol Baskin. I haven't even seen the first one, to be honest with you. I never.
It may not be as good to you. Like in the midst of a pandemic, it was hilarious. It's just like you had nowhere else to go. You were there for it, and like every episode, you were on the edge of your seat.
Right.
So like my wife watched it. I did not though. I watched the trailer and I was just like, this doesn't really appeal to me. Like a crazy guy with big ridiculous cats. Like I'm like, whatever.
It's pretty it's pretty good though. I mean, at least the first season was really good. I think the second season is good too, but it's definitely like on a whole different maybe spectrum. It's like this one's more focused on the people involved with Joe Exotic and like Carol Baskin, and then like some of the lawyers trying to figure out what happened to Don Lewis and
we know what happened to Don Lewis.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we know what happened.
Don Lewis is so like I've read up some on it. Is Don Lewis, is he Carol Baskin's husband that they can't find or whatever?
Yeah,
like, the ex-husband, and she has a new husband now, but
he ran away.
Right, disappeared.
As all her cats got fatter.
Right. Yeah, belly's got bigger. Yeah. You got some bones in the poo-poo. I don't know. But that was pretty good. And then I watched a series called You on Netflix. It's a You. It's like I think I told you about it last week, Ryan. But basically, just like it's kind of reminds me of like Dexter a little bit.
Yeah.
This guy's not as like righteous, I'd say. He's definitely like more, like I say, a little bit more evil, but he's still kind of entertaining. You still maybe kind of root for him, or you kind of like want to see how he's gonna get out the situation, because he's basically like killing people, mostly killing killing people, mostly female women, but it's also guys too. But he's just like, it's like it kind of narrates the series himself. Like you hear his voice in his head as he describes like, oh, this woman. He looks on some girl's Facebook and it's like, oh, her Facebook is wide open. This means that she must love the attention. She likes all the people looking at her and seeing her in these different outfits, and she's all in, and then he's like kind of psychoanalyzing these people from their Facebook and social media and their habits about walking around the streets and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting. And then he kind of finds a way to develop a relationship with them. And then he's like, they don't know about his past history and all this kind of stuff. And sometimes he kills people, sometimes he just lets them go or whatever. But it's kind of interesting how it plays out. But I think it was a pretty good series. I enjoy it so far. I think it's in its third season now. I think they're probably gonna have a fourth one, but we'll see. But besides that, I played some games. I played a little bit of Psychonauts 2. I've actually completed that one, finished that one off. It's actually pretty fun. It's a good series, a good game. But completed that one. I'm working on Yakuza 2. I'm playing the hell out of Halo Infinite on Xbox PC. That one's been like on one of my main games lately. I've really been enjoying that. It's something fresh, something new, something to get away from Destiny for a little bit. But I think those have been like some of the main things I've been up to as far as like the content I've been watching. What about you guys? You guys been up to much this week?
So because I was getting over my sickness, it was more of TV watching me than me watching TV.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like this past week was a little bit better, but like for the past few weeks, it was a matter of, I would throw something on, and then like within minutes, I'm like, all right, let me fall asleep a little bit. Let me just rest my eyes, right?
Right. Rest
for
my eyes
for a couple hours. You know what I mean? So like, I didn't watch too much. I know I missed the last couple weeks, so like some of the stuff I did watch Red Notice. I know you guys already talked about that. I watched Red Notice. I did watch the Hawkeye series.
Oh, the Hawkeye,
They dropped 2 episodes instead of the one. I liked the first episode better than the second one. The second one seemed like it kind of trailed off some, but at the end of that one, it seems like, okay, this is where they pick up, right?
Right.
So we'll see what happens. And I looked on IMDb. I think they're only doing 6 for this one because it's almost an hour for each one. I think it's like 45 minutes to 50 minutes or whatever. And Kevin Feige? How do you pronounce his name? I know
Feige.
Feige.
Yeah.
So he says like do like about 6 hours worth, right? Will be good for a mini series. So I think they're only doing 6 episodes because like the ones that were 30 minutes, like WandaVision was like 9 episodes, but they were only like 30 minutes, right? So you get close to that 6 hour mark that he thinks is good. So we'll see where they go. They're 2 in, so I imagine this is the new Wednesday filler, right? That's how they do it with all their new Disney Plus series. Is every Wednesday. It's kind of like how HBO used to rotate that Sunday 9 o'clock spot, right? You know what I mean? Like if you get Game of Thrones for this time, then it would be whatever for this time, and then whatever for this time. So, but Hawkeye, y'all. So next Wednesday, we'll see what happens with that one. What else did I watch? I started watching F is for Family. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this series.
I've seen it. I've seen a couple episodes.
Yeah, so like Bill Burr is absolutely hilarious to me, right? And it's kind of like a semi-autobiographical telling of his life, right? And season 5 released recently, and I started watching some of those today. Funny show, man, funny show. But F is for Family. Like I'm still kind of like in the documentary phase, or like the who done it type stuff. Like there was this show called what was the name of it? Accident, Suicide, or Murder is the name of it.
Okay.
And so, yeah. So they'll show a story, right? and almost always it starts off as accident or suicide, but you better believe it's murder in the end. Like, like somebody,
right.
there was only one. There was only one that I've seen so far that was an actual suicide, but they still tried to bring the husband up on charges for murder, but then they got determined it's an actual suicide.
Where's that one at? I'm interested.
Man, what did I watch it on? I think
HBO, Hulu.
I think it was Hulu.
Oh man,
I
got rid of
Hulu. I know.
No.
I gotta look it up.
Got the Paramount Pluses.
Yeah. Yeah, like where is it streaming?
It sounds interesting. Like I would actually watch that one. Like the one with the cats on Netflix, where I didn't see that one coming, where it was going.
Oh yeah.
Like don't mess with cats or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like those documentaries have me on the edge of my seat.
Right.
Yeah, this one was Hulu, Ryan. So it's Hulu. So yeah.
I'm sure I'll pick it back up. Like once Solar Opposites comes back or somebody like that, I'll probably pick Hulu back up. But I got too many streaming services. There's so many of them.
Solar Opposites. I saw this the other day. Solar Opposites has like a special. Like I don't think it's like a Christmas one. Yeah. Or something. Yeah. I saw on there. I was like, oh, I gotta watch that because I know I like the first 2 seasons I saw. I was like, I gotta check that out. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I haven't been playing any games really. At all, like I said, because I just wasn't feeling good, so it was just a matter of TV watching me. Didn't do any studying, didn't do any of that. I know.
Well.
Look, if I was falling asleep just watching TV, you better believe that would have put me to sleep faster. I'd have been like,
right,
and out immediately. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's been pretty much it for me. I mean, it was Thanksgiving. I mean, did you guys have a happy Thanksgiving?
Yeah. So I'm away from family, but they did a thing at the job. They did a thing with just my work center. There was a brunch. So I just been eating. There's another brunch today, and you best believe I'm gonna be at that brunch.
Right.
But yeah, I did a whole bunch of hopping between houses.
Mm-hmm. I was lazy this year, so I got ordered some food for Thanksgiving from our local restaurant here, which I felt good about because we get to support some of the restaurants. I know restaurants maybe may or may not be doing that well right now with the COVID and stuff going around, but so it was good to get a nice order from them. They actually gave us, we didn't expect it. We ordered the food and we got like a whole turkey, entire turkey, and then a bunch of sides for just the two of us really, but.
Yours that looked pretty good. You said that spread. I was like, man, that looked pretty good. Man.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Look, I was doing a little. I did a little bit of cooking this year, right? Like usually I don't go in the kitchen at all, right? The agreement is my wife cooks it, I eat it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the first game they played this year, the first half of that game was awful. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go help cook some stuff. I went upstairs and helped them cook. So like that's when I was sending those pictures and whatnot in the chat. I was like, oh, look at your boy, doing a little something.
Get your apron on and everything.
Yeah, I have my Superman apron on. You know what I mean? I was doing a little something. You know what I mean? The wife appreciated it, so I was
that's
like,
good.
Right, you happy? I'm happy. And then when you sent yours, I was like, man, that looked real good.
Right.
They didn't do you wrong, boy. They didn't do you wrong at all.
Yeah. Save us some of the time and the effort and the dishwashing and all that kind of stuff. We just like had everything ready for us and picked it up. And we warmed up a couple of things before we had to eat, but it was all good. It was delicious. And we still have a bunch of leftovers. We got turkeys for days. We're gonna probably have some turkey sandwiches for the rest of the week, and I don't know what else we're gonna make out of turkeys. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. We had a good Thanksgiving, pretty chill. Got to video chat with my moms, and we actually, it's so funny. We video chatted for like six hours of video chat. Like I was like, damn,
oh wow,
it's like a long call, but it's good to chat with moms. I haven't talked to her in a little while, at least video chatting. I message her every now and then, but don't get to talk with her and see her face all the time. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's a pretty good Thanksgiving. Got to chill out, kind of relax on the couch, play some video games. Wife's been listening to some audiobooks. Like I said, I've been playing the Halo, I've been playing some other games, and yeah, it's been pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I do? So yeah, I was doing the hopping between houses, so that was good. I made a ham first time. It actually turned
Oh,
out pretty
nice.
good. Yeah.
Dang.
Um, what else? Bills won, so that was also great. I did
Yeah.
not see it though because I was very asleep. Like the game didn't start to like 3-4 o'clock in the morning here, so
Right.
I caught the
Yeah,
very end. Yeah.
that was the late game here. So like I knew that was gonna be like early in the morning for you, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, they took care of business, man. They took care of business.
Yeah, we rebound really well. Now let's see what happens next game. We just
Mm.
like, man. Did you see last game though?
Nah.
We did it back then.
Yeah.
But I watched a lot of stuff. So I marathon Arcane on Netflix.
Oh,
It's
I
really
want to
good.
check. I put that in my queue.
It's it's based upon League of Legends stuff. I never played games. Don't know anything about League, but this show was all like really really good. Like I usually don't like the CG type animation or cartoons, but it's like it's done so well. It's like painterly. It's like it's like a moving oil painting or whatever. Like and just the story and the characters. So I went back to work and I talked to my coworkers. Like I was like, "Is this what League of Legends is like? I need to get on this." And they're like, "No."
Right.
Like,
I was like, no.
We got none of that for a decade. Like all that stuff is lore you have to read about or you have to go find. It's not baked into the game. The game is just the game. That's it. But now Riot developers are now making TV series out of the characters and whatnot. And they did a really good job. Like I was so hooked. I just marathoned the whole thing. I think it was like 10 episodes. So I watched over 2 days. So that was good. Caught up on Invasion, which is the alien show on Apple Plus. It's finally getting to the point where it's not a slow burn anymore. Like before, like is it aliens? Is it not aliens? Like of course it's aliens. Like it's alien like stuff is happening.
Right.
So finally it's out in the open. Like they're actually showing the big bad. Like you can actually see the aliens on the screen and whatnot. So like everybody's on board now. And like it's 3 or 4 different stories that intertwine with one another. Now they're starting to run into each other. Like they're starting to actually meet up with one another, not knowing that they're all part of a bigger story. So it's actually, but that's like, I think I'm on episode 8 maybe. So it took a long time to get there. But it's very slow burn.
Shannon shaking his head like, oh
yeah, oh, that's for you. Because you're like, these are obviously aliens attacking us. Like, why are you not like, oh, it's terrorists? Like,
they know.
I don't think so.
I just can't wait that long though. That's the thing.
It took a long time to get there.
I'm not gonna put in that time. I'm not gonna put in that time because I automatically think the juice is not gonna be worth the squeeze at that point, right? Like you're talking about like it's 8 episodes in. Don't tell me this is like a 10 part series. Like, oh, I just got
that's what I'm like. They feel, I think they're 45 minutes, so it's probably only going to be 10 to 12. It took forever to start the tie the stuff together. The characters are enjoyable, but there's a certain group of characters they focus on. I just be like, yo, this dude is the worst father of all time. He's worse than Goku. He's bad. This dude is terrible. And I'm just like, every time they go back to him, I'm just not interested in this story arc. But it's not about him per se. It's about his estranged wife. And it's good the way that they kind of shape it around her, but he's just such a bad dude. It's just like, yo, just leave him for dead.
Right.
Like, why do we still care about this person? There's another show I watched too. I can't remember off the top of my head, but most importantly, I finally got that Ghostbusters.
Oh yeah,
so Ghostbusters Afterlife yesterday. I really enjoyed it. I don't know how it's going to rate. I didn't watch any reviews or anything like that because I didn't want to spoil it for me. Because it's been like 30 years, right? So like I remember 1 and 2 pretty well from my childhood because it's like something I grew up with. So the first one came out in 1984. So I saw it, years later. Like I'm like 5 or 6 when I finally saw it. But the second one came out in 1989. I remember that one very well. And this one is a direct sequel. So anything in between, retcon it. Doesn't exist. And it focuses on one particular Ghostbusters family. And I thought they did a really good job. It is kind of slow at the beginning because they're not in the city. They're like in Oklahoma. So it definitely it develops their characters pretty well. I like to say before it gets into here's the backstory that fills in this story type situation, because they don't really know their lineage is the whole thing. Like they're learning it through finding artifacts.
Right.
So I liked it, and then it has two post credit scenes. One is a deleted scene from Ghostbusters, the original.
Oh wow.
So when I went to watch the Easter egg, because I thought it was something that was already in the movie, I was like, I just don't remember that scene happening. And then in the Easter egg, they're like, no, this is a deleted scene that you only find on the DVD, and they used it as a post credit scene to develop what could potentially be in the sequel. I was like, oh, that's hot. That's pretty cool. And then there's another one that develops a character from the Ghostbusters. And I watched a few Easter eggs on it, and people didn't like it. And I'm just like, I don't know. I say that for a different show. Like, you should like this.
Right.
Why are you hating on this particular character? I don't get it. But it's oh man, Ernie Hudson. What was the character he played? I can't remember his name. He's not a scientist. Basically, like
He was the last one to come in. But
they developed him very well in this movie for what the sequel could be. You're just like, oh, okay. And other people are like, nah, I didn't like it. Like, why you hating on Ernie Hudson? So I thought it was pretty good though. Like I would say if you're a fan of the first two, then this one it's kind of, it has, you know, I mean, it's 80s hokey sometimes, because like some scenes are like shot for shot. Like this is how we introduced like slime or protoplasm in the first one. This is how we introduced it in this one. It's very similar, but you got to remember those movies were really corny back in the day. So it's same, but I liked it.
Yeah,
I give it a solid.
Check it out sometime. Yeah, give it a solid.
I mean, I gather that it was, you know, like what you're saying, like it was around one person or whatever. But like when you see the trailer, like in the trailer, they show at least 3 of them, and you know, I don't know. I'm not trying to spoil it or anything like that because I didn't.
A lot of them are related though. Like they do. Okay. There are some characters who are not part of the family, which are shown kind of like the next generation of potential Ghostbusters. But 3 of the characters you see in the trailer are mother, son, and daughter.
Okay. Yeah. Got you. Okay.
Yeah. So, but again, I thought they handled it really well, and even the special effects, like they use some special effects from 2. They just modernize them so they don't look like what you would think they would have turned it into. Like they try to stay with the original as much as possible. Because
the technology they're using is from that one, right?
Right. So you see, you just like, I dig it. Like right. When they capture the ghost with the proton pack, you're like, they could have made it different, but now they're like, no, we're gonna polish off what we used back then. You're just like, oh, okay. I liked it. But I was about to say something. I forgot what it was. I don't know, but I would say if you like the first 2, then you'll definitely like this one. As for the nostalgia factor, but I wouldn't go out of your way. Like if you had to pick between this and Spider-Man 2 or Spider-Man Homecoming or what is it? No Way Home?
No Way. No.
This is No Way Home.
This is
Far From Home. Yeah. Is it Far From Home or No Way Home?
Far From Home is the second one. This one is
No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to pick between the 2, like you can only pick one movie this fall, then go with Spider-Man. But if you got some time, I say check this one out too.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just now catching up to watch Eternals. So like I got a date with the wife tomorrow to go watch Eternals, or later on today actually. Now I'm inside right now, but we're gonna go see Eternals. So I'm already behind on that one because that dropped the beginning of November, right? On November 5th or something like that. I'm 3 weeks late, but so we're gonna hit that up. But I do plan on seeing Spider-Man. Like I was telling you guys, I watched Spider-Man 2 just yesterday or the day before. One of those 2 days, I was like, okay, let me see if I can remember where we're gonna pick up from when we go to this next one. And after watching the second one, I think they're gonna pick like right up. You know what I mean? Because remember the second one, I mean, no spoilers here. It's been out for a couple of years now. But in the second one, he got exposed at the end for who he really is. That's how they ended it, right? So there's like a scene in the trailer where like I saw a new trailer yesterday. There's a scene in the trailer where I'm like, okay, I think this multiverse thing is gonna like play out really well. Like really well. There's a new trailer out where it's showing all these villains from the different universes that are not the one that has what's the actor's name? Tom Holland in it.
Right.
Current Spider-Man.
Right.
I'm like, oh,
Right.
I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh, like he doesn't know who those people are. Like he says it in the trailer. He's like, I don't know who these people are. And Doctor Strange is talking to him, and you're just like, oh, this is gonna be great. Like this is where I hope they're going, because like you can open it up for so much more. Like Loki opened the door for this with the whole multiverse thing, right? Like they just opened the door up for it, and they're just gonna walk through and they're gonna take advantage, and they're gonna take even more of my money. I'm just gonna be throwing it. Like, hey, don't you see me throwing cash at your glass here? Like, give me a ticket.
Right. Right.
Yeah. They have different points now, right? So like when we watched Hawkeye showed the I don't think it's a spoiler, but like because they keep going back to 2012, right? The Battle of New York.
Yeah.
But they show it from a different angle. You get that nostalgic feeling, you know what I mean? Like even though it hasn't been around, like it has been around for like a decade, but like when he pulled the bow back, I was like, I got tingles.
I got tingles.
But you're seeing it from a different person's perspective, right? So you're just like, oh man, that's hot. And then now we'll have the multiverse pinpoint. Like every time you're watching the show, or no, I'm sorry, before then you'll have the snap. Like every now and then a show will show a different perspective from the snap. You're like, oh, okay, that's hot. Either people coming back or people vanishing. And now you'll see that gold flash and something will change. And you'll be like, oh, okay.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, okay, I like it. I like Kevin Feige is a genius. Like that dude cannot leave Disney ever.
I think they'll pay him whatever he wants at this point, right?
Yes.
Like because just blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster at this point. You know what I mean? Like I'm fairly certain all these TV shows have their subscription base just climbing every time a new one comes out.
They all work so well. Like because I'm not a Hawkeye fan in general, but this show is really pulling it off for me. Like I was mad that I couldn't watch because they dropped the first two, and I'm still in the marathon mode. I went to go watch the third one. Very disappointed. I was like, there's no third one.
Right. I know. They leave that cliffhanger. Yeah.
But like just the way they're intertwining so much of the MCU, because like when I think of Hawkeye, I think B tier, right? Like we talked about this. Like I'm not like once you start introducing gods and craziness, like the B tier is just like meh. But the Falcon and Winter Soldier, Hawkeye, like they're all like sometimes they feel like they're better than the bigger shows and movies, because you really get to see the world from their perspective. So I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
Like that first scene in Hawkeye did it for me. Like I was hooked. I was like, yep. And she's walking around with the no cut shot, and you can see the battle from her perspective. I'm just like, oh, I'm definitely down.
Yeah. Yeah. I like how they did that. It's good series. And I think I like this is a random part of the series where she was doing the it's like sword fighting, or it's like a what do you call that sport?
Oh, the fencing.
I can't think of the name. The fencing, yeah. She's fencing with the guy, and then like all of a sudden the guy got serious. It's like, oh, I was like, oh damn, okay, well, he's got some secrets. But that was pretty cool. But I
like the setup. Like, yeah, it's definitely going to be something we're not expecting, which I appreciate. And then just to go back into the lore, like again, like they have like a big bag of things they can go back to. Like when they're doing an auction with all the gear, you're like, man, there's a lot of stuff here.
Right. Yeah, it's good. It looks pretty good.
Yeah, but it's like one thing that I thought was I don't know why I thought it was corny, but like the name of the gang is the Tracksuit Gang. It's like
they said they call them in the comic though. Like I didn't read any comics. But in the comic, they're called like the Tracksuit Gang or Tracksuit Thugs, whatever.
I'm like that's two on the nose.
It's on the nose,
yeah,
right?
like,
yeah.
The Tracksuit Gang. Okay.
The Tracksuit Gang.
That's
the first thing I noticed. I was joking with the wife, like it's about the same thing. I was like, look at these track suits, right? On these red track suits.
Right. Remind me of GTA 4. Remember when he gets off the ship and he's got the tracksuit on?
Right.
But another question that had me, not to belabor Hawkeye too much, but who is his wife? Like she has to have been either involved or like her lineage has something to do with other characters. Because like when he's having a conversation with her, she seems to be in the know, and she was in the know before. Like in one of the movies, he was talking to her. can't remember which movie it was, but all the Avengers came to the ranch where he lived at.
It was Ultron.
She knows she knows a lot. Like, and then she talks about like, oh yes, like a technique from my dad or whatever. Like, who was her dad? Like, there's a lot happening there. I'm just like, that's interesting.
I never thought about it too much.
I didn't either.
Because she said something in the movie too, and I was just like, who is she?
I just know he seemed to have told her everything, right? Like the fact that he had a family was the big secret, right? They didn't know anything about it. I think it was Age of Ultron.
Right. But and
Ultron handed them their butts, and they had to go
she's too cool with him just disappearing and saving the world though. Like, there's something there. Like, I don't know if she'll reveal it in the show or it'll pop up in a different movie, but there's some other character is going to be revealed through her, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I was trying to look up to see if there's any info on the web.
No. I mean, Kevin Feige, he misdirects though. Like, maybe
right.
She's retired, or maybe her dad was like an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something like that. But I'd like all the lore that they lace in there, so I think that's pretty good. Aside from that, I played Halo, so I'm not in it as much as I would like to be in it because I feel guilty every time I pick up the sticks. Because I'm like, I should be studying for Cloud. So I'm gonna jump on that today. Oh, and I've been conquering these PDUs for PMP. So we all have a mutual friend, Rashawn. He put me on to projectmanagement.com or .org. And from there, you can watch webinars to help you with your PDUs because I was sorely lacking. So I'm all PMP'd out. I think I'm almost done with my requirement for the 3 years.
Nice. Yeah.
That's just
knock that out.
Back-to-back webinars. So
yeah.
But I need to jump on because my goal was to take my cloud cert before Christmas. But I'm like, it's getting kind of close. So I'm not sure.
Right. Yeah. I need to keep up with mine for I got like a Sec Plus with CompTIA.
Oh,
but
okay.
I have a couple of years left before I have to re up. But I always find something.
That's not somebody. I was like, man.
Yeah. I was gonna say I always find some sort of like, I don't know, some training modules or something like that I can use to like get through it or whatever. But I'll take care of that later. I'll be lazy about it and last minute find some stuff.
I was telling the coworker, man, the tax to keep up with these things is getting kind of brutal. Like, so I began the year with CCNA. I did that one for free, but it took me almost a month to complete everything I needed to complete to renew it. And then EC Council is going to want their pound of flesh for my CH in a year and a half or so. So not terribly worried about that one yet, but CISP, I had to do a bunch of stuff. What did I do for CISP? A lot of it was my WGU classes. They took them as hours. So I broke it down to hours, what I learned and what domain it fell into. So that kind of worked out in my favor. But then you got to think the AMF is 125 every year. So my employer paid for that one, but they didn't pay for the Sec Plus, Net Plus. I had to come out of pocket for that. So I renewed my Sec Plus and Net Plus with my CISP, but I still had to pay, right? So now I paid money for that. And now PMP, I don't even know I can't remember what the maintenance fee is. That's due next summer. And it took me 4 weeks to knock out all the PDUs I should have been doing over the past 2 years. So it's taken a lot of effort, like, which is good because it keeps me sharp. But at the same time, like,
a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's like, do I really want to keep this stuff? No.
You start prioritizing, like, what am I going to let slip? Like,
man.
Right. Like, which ones do I really need or really want?
It's getting rough.
It's hard work though. I mean, it's good to have those things though. I mean, it's great to add that to your resume, especially when when you get out, you're gonna have extra certifications and stuff on your resume. But I know it's hard work to keep track of them. I have a hard enough time just doing one, like with the Sec Plus, and then I got some other ones at Microsoft stuff that I have to like keep up with yearly. But but besides that, I mean, I think a Sec Plus and things like that, we have to get the CEUs or the continuing education type stuff is normally more taxing, I think, than some of the other requirements. Sometimes you'd rather like just take the test again, a certain test. Like you figure like, I'd rather just take a test and try to do all these CEUs again. And like,
right.
try.
Right. Like I think I will for the ISC squared. I think I'm gonna hopefully work my way up to the thing is CCSP, the Certified Cloud Security Professional, because then that's lateral, right? So that would knock that out for me. But it's hard to squeeze that stuff in when you have to keep up with stuff from before. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So luckily, I don't have to take any more classes, like classes, because I'm not going for that doctorate. So,
right, wrap it up.
Yeah,
for sure. That's good stuff, though. You're doing good, man. It's keeping up with those certifications and I don't know, planning for your escape from the military lifestyle.
Yeah, man, it's right around the corner. Somebody asked me, so if you watched the last episode of Ask Us SP, he asked me a very pointed question because he thought I was out. And you have too much trains of thought. Like when you're doing an interview, you're trying to stay ahead because you're just like, what may he ask me, or what may I be able to pivot this to? And then you're trying to be behind, like, what has he asked me? So I'll repeat the same material. But then he caught me right there, because you don't want to talk about getting out too much, because I might stay in. You never know. As well as current employer might be like, he's talking about getting out a lot.
Yeah, right.
But he was like, doop. I was like, So I was honest.
That was good. You got to be honest.
Nope, still in. And this is my roadmap and yada yada yada. But it was a good one. It's a good interview. It's with Jarvis Bryant. He's active duty Army. He's on his way to getting out. So he's pursuing Sec Plus. He's a logistics guy by trade, so he's trying to mix it in with the signal guys, so he can start prepping for some stuff that he wants to do. So I thought it was pretty good. I don't actually have anybody scheduled for this week, so hopefully I get somebody before Tuesday, because I need to produce and whatnot. So there's that.
Yeah. See who you can who you can rope in. I know Aisha was like, you can call me like last second and I'll show up.
No, I hate doing that. Yeah. Plus she's on the other side of the firewall, right? So we have her on this show, but the Ask Us piece for people who are trying to break in and whatnot.
Right, that's true.
So some people are like very like, they'll hit you up. Other people, you gotta kind of like, hey, you got some questions? You want to talk about this?
Right.
Cat and mouse game. So I'm sure I'll get somebody. If not, then it'll just be me, solo dolo, talking about something. So we'll see.
It's all good. People like looking at you. Yeah. It'll be all good. People like listen to you. No, it's all good.
Yeah. So we have a couple guests I want to line up to bring on before the holiday, but then we'll go offline. I think we'll record December 19th. That'll get us through Christmas. And then we'll be off until the 10th, I want to say. So like a good 2 weeks. And then I'm going to take those interviews and break down the Q&As and push those out as videos throughout the week. So I'll start stacking those now, so that way I don't have to do much during the holiday, but hit the publish button.
Sounds good. Yeah,
that's the game plan.
Yeah.
But okay, I think that pretty much wraps this one up. So thank you for all those out there listening. Thank you, Levon. Thank you, Shannon. Please continue to like, share, subscribe. Hit us up throughout the week. Again, Monday and Tuesday are topics. Wednesday's discussion. Thursday's Ask Us SP, and then Friday is everything else. You can hit up the website, www.theothersideofthefirewall.com, to get to all our socials. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RyRy Security Guy. That's RYRY Security Guy. I'm on LinkedIn, Twitter, Clubhouse, and TikTok. And you, Levon?
Feel free to hit me up on the Twitters at Levon Maynard.
There it is. Stay safe. Stay secure.
Take care.